projects. I've done a couple personal projects, and personal projects. Let's clarify. Personal projects can be a lot of different things, and what I'm talking about are not long-term project. Well, they're long-term in the sense that they're typically, in my case, 365 days, a year-long project. But some personal projects are, you just want to take pictures of, let's say you live in a big city and you want to document homeless people. And that's something that really, and you're doing it perhaps for an altruistic reason, and so that's cool. Or maybe your personal project is you used to live on a farm when you were a young person, and so anytime you have a chance to go out in the country, you photograph farms, and you're doing that for a personal reason. And it's not a project that has any end in sight. You just always take pictures when you're on a farm. Whether it's cattle or whether it's harvesting or planting or the people that are living on the farm, whatever it is that sparks something in the memories that you have. And this is actually, I could do that because I worked on a farm when I was a teenager, and I could see doing that as a project. Not something that necessarily interests me. But the personal projects that I've done, and what I'm talking about here, are really kind of the 365-day projects. A lot of people do them, and a lot of people complete them, and a lot of people don't complete them. And so I'm one of those people who has probably done 4 of them. I'm not quite sure. I think I've done 4, and I've completed 2. So the first year I did one where I just used my and there's a purpose to the 3. I think it helps that there's a purpose if you set a purpose for the project. In my first effort, I had just gotten a 50 millimeter 1.8 lens for my Canon, and so I was going to do a picture every day taking that 50 millimeter lens. And the advantage of a personal project like that is that it forces you to take pictures every day, and if your constraint is that the picture has to be done on the day that you're going to post it, if you're going to share the picture, then that's another motivation for you to get out and take pictures. I've stopped doing that because that first year, although I felt, even though I only got to, I think, day 277 out of 365, it was a good experience for me because it did indeed make me use my new 50 millimeter lens. But what I found I was doing is at 11:45 at night, I was walking around trying to find something to take a picture of in our house, and that was kind of silly. So I've changed that. When I do these year-long projects, and I've done a couple of them, my rules to myself are the picture doesn't have to be taken on the day you post it, and I do want to share it. So that's another kind of pushes you. It's kind of like having a friend to go walking with. If you have a friend, you're going to do it because you don't want to let the friend down, and the friend doesn't want to let you down. In my case, I want to walk every day, but there's nobody pushing me to do it, so I don't always go out and do it. But I have the rule that I do use whatever it is by limitation. So one year I did with my new iPhone 5. I was going to do a picture every day, and I did, and that was a good project. And I changed that up a little. I think it helps to have themes. And so in that case, my themes were different every day. So Monday was minimalistic day, and I think Saturday was storytelling day. And so I'd take like 3 or 4 pictures and make a little diptych or triptych that showed a little story of the pictures I took. And some were close-up days, and some were trees, and some were flowers, each day of the week. Recently, for the year 2016, I was going to take pictures every day with my Olympus Air. Well, then I started having trouble with my Olympus Air, and so I switched from that and made it, I'm going to take pictures with my 25 millimeter on, so it can be on really any one of my cameras will take that lens. And so that's the equivalent of a 50 millimeter on a full frame camera. And now in the last couple of weeks, I've been kind of consumed with these videos, and the weather's been crappy, and so I haven't gotten out. So I've really got a bunch of days where I don't have any pictures that I've put up. But as a kind of a summary of all this, I think personal projects are good because they force you to they force you to focus on something, and more importantly, they give you a reason to get that camera in your hand and go outside and take pictures, or even in your house and take pictures. And I think that's what really the whole purpose of a project is, whether it's a year-long project or whether it's a multi-year project. I think whatever it is, as long as you have a focus and as long as you have a goal in mind, I think it's good because it helps you and forces you, motivates you to take pictures. And that's why we have our cameras. So that's what I think about personal projects.